Hi everyone, it's the Tides Changing here, and welcome to part 12 of Let's Build a Rustic Inn. Getting right into things, Stephanie suggested moving that larger rug out from the door some, and then adding a smaller rug in right in front of the door. So I did try that, but then I felt like that larger rug was a little bit too big for the space once I moved it out. So I ended up getting rid of it and then trying out a smaller rug in front of the reception desk, which is actually the same one that I used under the couches in the living room. But I didn't really like how any of the color options looked in there. So I decided to just get rid of it, and then in the end I just completely got rid of the larger rug I had in there and left it just a smaller one in front of the door. Moving upstairs, I put the middle column back in because Nora McSimmer and Sharkasm23 said they felt like it looked a little bit better with it there. I also sized down the chandelier so it wasn't blocking up as much of the view, which was also suggested by McSimmer and Jess. And Matthew said they felt like the wall light along the stairs looked a little bit odd, so I removed it and stuck a hanging light over the stairs instead, and then put a wall light hidden behind the stairs so that it would still light up the lower area, but you wouldn't see it because once I did take out that light, the light from the ceiling lamp unfortunately didn't go through down to the lower floor, so I had to light that somehow. Also, Sabrina suggested removing the end tables because they were a little bit busy and made it look a little bit cluttered with all the couches, so I got rid of them just to see how that would look, and I do agree that it looks a little bit less cluttered without them. For this area, Black Milk also suggested adding a tea set onto the coffee table, so I removed the plan, put that in there instead, which is a nice touch, and also it helps to, it's nice to have another decoration in this room other than plants. And I felt like it was still a little bit bare where the end tables were, so I tried putting in plants where they were, because I guess they aren't as large as the end tables are, but it's something to put there. Also, Cameron said that they felt like the plant next to the door was a little much, so I removed it and then stuck a smaller one in its place. And moving on from that, Matthew suggested replacing the train set that I had on the end table with an animal statue, so I decided to put Stanley the Jackalope there. I should have thought of that when I was furnishing it last time, but I completely forgot about that. Also, a lot of you felt like the inspirational poster was a little tacky and looked odd there, so I decided to replace it with the clock, which was suggested by Carlo and Robert. So I just used that fancy one there and sized it up a little bit because it was a little bit too small originally. I was also thinking about using a floor clock, but I feel like that would be a little much to use one. And I also feel like those plants I put next to the couches were a little much, so I took out the larger one and just left just a smaller one there. Now moving on to changing the wall colorings, because a lot of you said that you didn't really like the bright plaster, that you felt like it was a little bit too bright, and that it took away from the warmness of the inn and just didn't go with the theme of the rest of it. So I tried different colors of the same plaster. I tried in yellows and browns, and I just show a whole bunch of different types of wall coverings here because I tried so many different ones and I felt like they weren't quite right. I also saw this part panel, part plaster one, so I decided to give that one a try as well to see how it would look in there. I did feel like it was a little bit better than just the plain plaster, but I still didn't feel like it was quite right, even in the brown colors. I also felt like it didn't, for some reason to me, it just didn't seem to go quite as well with the stone, and I really wanted to keep the stone accent walls because that is what the rest of the accent walls in the inn are, so I didn't want to go with a panel accent wall in its place. And I actually I just went back to the paneling that was originally there because, it keeps up with the theme of the rest of the inn, it still has that warmth to it, so yeah, I just ended up sticking with that, and as far as the coloring of the furniture goes, I really like the bright green that was on the couches. I do wish it came with a warmer wood color, but I just really like the bright green. Although I did change the wood on the accent table and the end table to be a slightly warmer one. That's it for all the changes, so now it's finally time to move on to furnishing the rooms, which I've really been looking forward to. I know a lot of you have as well. As far as the household I'm going to base today's room off of, I already figured out what household I wanted to use, just to save a little bit of time once I actually got into the game, so I wasn't figuring that out on camera or anything, but I'm still going to go into the gallery and look at the hashtag to show you guys the household that I picked for today. So let's just get the hashtag in here, and this is the right spelling of it. So as you can see, there are quite a few households submitted. I was actually really surprised by how many households were submitted. Like I was not expecting this many, so I really appreciate it. Like it makes me so happy to see all these different households. And I'll probably use some of the ones that I don't use in the series in my base game Let's Play because I do need more kids and teens for that series, so I'll probably put some of these families into that. I'll also be creating a separate hashtag for that series as well, and I'll just talk about that in an upcoming part of that series for those of you who watch it. But yeah, there's a bunch of different houses in here. So there's some small families, there's some single sims, some couples, some friend households. So there's a lot of different ones, and it was really hard to choose which one that I wanted to use. But I'm gonna get right to it and find the one that I was planning on using today. So I believe it's this family right here. So yes, the Lees are so focused on their daughter that they would do anything for her. They love music, funky colors, and are ready to move into the Rustic Inn. And this is by Splash the Awesome. So I chose this family because of the fondness for funky colors, because I think this inn could definitely use a bright color since there's a lot of more earthy colors. So I just think it'd be really fun to furnish a room in bright colors, and the fact that they love music tells me that I need to include a stereo somewhere in the room. So I think it'd be really fun to furnish the room for them. So you have James Lee, who loves the outdoors, is athletic and family oriented, also has the curator aspiration. Then there is Tanya Lee, who is a music lover, squeamish, and outgoing with the successful lineage aspiration. And then lastly is Samantha Lee, who is a rambunctious scamp and outgoing. So I'm of course going to have to put a double bed as well as a single bed in this room, and I'm thinking I'm going to use purples and yellows in it to go with the colors of their shirts. I think that'd be a fun color combination. So getting into things, I'm going to do this room since it's the largest one. I think it'd be the best one to fit the beds that are needed in it. So I'm going to start off by getting the floors in here. So I guess we can go a different way. I think going this way would work a little bit better. We also need a light in there so we can actually see what we're placing. So we'll get that right in the center there, and also this is the bathroom for this room. So I'm going to be doing both the bathroom and the bedroom in this part. As far as the bed goes, I was thinking about using the one that's unlocked from the artist career, so this one right here, because it does come in this nice yellow color right here. I actually like that because it's really bright and it still at the same time fits in with the theme of this place. So I feel like that's a good bed. There's also this one, but I'm feeling this one a little bit more for this place. As far as the end table goes, I think this one came in a lighter color, so yeah, that actually goes together really well. So I'm going to use this as the end table, and let's just get this in a little bit closer to the bed. They should be able to get into it. I'll have to check that after I stop recording. Let's also get some lights on the end tables. I wonder if it'd be too much to have one of these on each of the end tables, or maybe this on one and then this lamp on the other. I don't know, it looks sort of odd. I feel like, I don't know, since this is a hotel or an inn, maybe it'd make more sense to have identical lamps. I guess so. I'll just go with this. Oh, I can't turn it. Okay. There we go. Alright, so we'll do that one. I think I'm going to change the color as well. Oh, that looks nice. That works pretty well together. I think we also need a plant above here as well. Or not a plant, a picture. So something bright. This isn't super bright, but I feel like it fits in well. So I guess with this room we can kind of go for a bright flower theme. I like how that looks with the bed. So as far as the frame goes, let's go with some kind of a wood. So maybe we can just stick with this, maybe. Oh, I also need to figure out the wallpaper. I could go... No, that looks really bad. Perhaps the same kind of plaster I originally had out there, maybe in a bright green? I don't know about that. We could also go for a bright blue. I could also try this right here. Oh, that looks nice. So I could try that in some kind of a different color. This is probably going to be too much yellow to have that. We could also try the green with the paneling. I could, you know, it might look a little bit better to go with the one that has a paneling, kind of like what I used in the lounge area downstairs. Yeah, this one maybe? I sort of like this one a little bit more, but we can try some other colors for this. Maybe I could size down the painting, because I think it would look a little bit better if the painting was smaller. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Not really feeling that. From this right here, it looks like this wall's gonna be a bright yellow, but oh, what about maybe that? Okay, well let's size this down to see how that looks. Actually, I don't know about that. I'm gonna go back to the more plaster type of wallpapers. We could even just go with white, but that might be a little bit too bright. This wall right here could also look nice with both the base and the crown molding. So let's see what colors we've got for this. It might not look that bad just to go with the plain white in here. I just don't really like how it looks with more of the paneling in it. You know, I think different painting might be better, or we could even try, I don't know if I really want to go for just the regular old paneling. I could also try the same paneling that I used in the kitchen, so this one right here. Okay, that looks like a little bit too much wood. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit too dark. I think for a brighter themed room like this might just be the best wall to go with. I could also look at some other beds because now that I have this lighter wall, I do want a darker wood in here, so we can try maybe going with this more. Oh, where did the lamp must have been deleted. Okay, so we'll just get this one back in here. And then try out another bed, like maybe one of the actual outdoor retreat ones. So we got this one right here. I don't know if I can't remember if this comes in any brighter colors, but we can look and see. I don't think it does. We got the white, which is sort of bright, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Maybe I like the yellow coloring on that one, but not the wood around it. Like, I wish I could have this wood, but with that sheet. The blue's kind of cool, but I don't really know about that. We also have this one, which actually does come in a yellow, but you know what? I'm just gonna keep this bed. I could also do a paneling accent wall maybe against it. How does that look? Let me change this back to the lighter wood. Oh, now this one actually looks a little bit better. Or now, what was it? It was this one before. I could also try a stone accent wall. Maybe, well, maybe that would look nice. And I think some columns to set it apart might work pretty well. Okay, yeah, I think it looks a little bit better. I love the sheet color, but not the wood color. There is unfortunately not a whole lot I can do about that. Actually, let me try changing the colors of the end table. So we can have some different wood, which, I mean, not all the wood has to match. I don't really like the wood color. And maybe this one will look a little bit better, or perhaps actually should go with something else. So not the dinosaurs, but we could go with that. We could just go with this also. And on second thought, let's try the wood accent wall again. You know what, the wood one might look a little bit better, so I'll just stick with the wood and have this in a lighter color. And I should probably scooch that in towards the bed a little bit more. There is that other more expensive bed though that does have a yellow coloring to it. And a darker wood. Yeah, this one has some brighter colors, so we could try this. And I guess that sort of works. I wish it was a little bit darker. I could also go with a different end table though. I don't have to stick with that, but I don't really like that style of bed for this place as much. I actually like this bed more. I'm just gonna leave the bed here, and maybe once I get more furnishing in, it'll actually look a little bit better. So I'm just getting a little bit frustrated by this, and you guys can, of course, let me know what you think of it. As far as other decorations go, I'm thinking we need something on these end tables, so perhaps some books for them to read while they sit in their bed or something like that. So we can make those yellow, make it nice and bright, and as far as the other side goes, maybe the single rose item would look nice, kind of put over to the side like that. And in the yellow color, actually I don't know, maybe we just will leave it at the books there. I think also a coffee table type thing at the end of the bed to put some decorations on might look nice. So here are the coffee tables. We can use the one from Outdoor Retreat to kind of keep with the theme. And let's change the coloring of that to this. Actually, how does it look? Actually, let me change it back to the later coloring there. I mean, maybe it doesn't look that bad to have the walls just all be the paneling, but I feel like that kind of doesn't go with the bright color theme of this room. Maybe I'll just do that and then make up for it by making, you know, using brighter colors elsewhere. So actually, now that that's removed, let's try going back to that sunflower painting, which was nice and bright. So we can have that there, make the frame a lighter color. Actually, I like this more. So we'll stick with that, and on the foot of the bed here, I can add that wine bottle item or the VIP bucket item. Some of you said that you thought it'd be really nice to add into the bedrooms as sort of a gift from the hotel, or inn. So we can have that here and turn that. There we go. That's a proper way. So I think that's a nice little touch there. And also the bed's not right in front of a door, which is pretty nice too. We also need some sort of a rug. So we could go with this one here, turn it this way. This can be made pretty bright too. And as far as the coloring goes, there is this nice bright one here. We could also go with a purple color, because like I said, I was thinking about doing a purple and yellow sort of theme. I'm thinking maybe the wall would look better like this. Yeah, I think I'll just leave the wall like this a little bit brighter, just because it's getting a little bit too dingy with the paneling all over. And I really like this bed, so perhaps instead of a purple rug, we can actually go with this bright blue rug. I think that goes a little bit better. And as far as what to put on here, maybe some towels, sort of like they left some extra towels for the bathroom just sitting on here for them to grab. So we can do that, and maybe just a simple white would go a little bit better. And what else can we put here? There's a little basket item with toiletries in it, so maybe that. Maybe just kind of like this whole coffee table thing is just gifts from the inn to the people staying. Like, here's the shampoos and stuff that they leave, although, well, the shampoos that hotels usually leave is a little bit smaller, but we can just pretend that that's what that is. And right here, maybe another painting. Would it be too much to add this? Maybe just a smaller one would work. So we can try maybe just a little painting like this so it doesn't get too overwhelming, with some nice flowers on it. So let's move that up a bit. And then over in this corner, I think a plant would work really well. So I could try this large one here. I really like this plant. And we of course gotta make sure that's not coming through any walls, and it's not, so it's good. And I'm thinking we could just make the base of it white, just to keep up with the brightness of the room. On second thought, maybe a chair would work better in that corner, but I'll just stick that there for the time being. And I'm thinking a yellow chair to go in there would be really nice, so we can try this fancy one right here. I believe comes in yellow. Yes, it does. So I think this will look pretty nice in the corner, just keeping up with the bright color theme. So let's look at that. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. And we also still need to fit in a bed for the daughter. So I wonder how it would look to add in just sort of an air mattress type of a thing, kind of like the room wasn't originally meant for 3 people, but then, you know, they had someone bring their kid along, so they just have these air mattresses on hand. And plus it comes in yellow, so it keeps up with that. We also do need curtains. I did forget to add those, so I'm just going to go with these ones right here, make them a white color, because that's the only one that really works for here. I can also try out some other beds, because maybe there's another bed in yellow that would work a little bit better than that one. So there is this one here, which is like a smaller version of the other yellow one I tried earlier. So we could try that one. I could also try some other bright colored beds, and in this case I think the woods being a little different is fine. But I'll leave that for the time being. Maybe a painting above that would also be nice. Let's see what we can get here. Perhaps we can stick this painting over here after all, and I'll just keep it a smaller size, and let's go with this coloring for the frame. I also do need to add a stereo in here somewhere. I don't think I'm going to put a TV. I don't think I'm going to put TVs in the rooms anyway. That way Sims aren't as tempted to just stay in their rooms. Maybe just, that might be a little much for a room. We could, ooh, I think this on a table would be really nice and keep up with that sort of rustic theme. So as far as the accent table this goes on, I'm going to use something different than this one. So perhaps we can go with this one. I also need to add a dresser in somewhere. I can just add in that in right here. So we could go with this, just like it's sort of a secondhand piece of furniture, because I want the furniture in the rooms to look sort of like the people who own the inn just acquired it from different places. And I think we need a little something over the wall here as well. What about that? I don't know about that. I believe I used this somewhere else, but I think it would still work nice here. Yeah, I like how that looks. And then a dresser over here at the foot of the bed. Okay, so let's see what we have. I think we can maybe go with this one, just stick it in the corner, and then next to it underneath the window have a mirror or a plant or something. I don't want to have a huge dresser in here, and once again, we're just kind of going with an older looking one. Okay, yeah, so I mean, this is what we've got so far. I guess this works, I think this works pretty well for a theme. And I could also put some columns around the rooms, like on the corners and stuff, just to make it look like support, make it look a little bit more interesting. Actually, let me try that now. So, whoops. I'll just delete that in a minute. I don't know if I want to do this in all the corners. Actually, maybe. Maybe I will. And let's just get rid of the one that went into there. Oh! Okay. Why? Okay, good, good. Okay, so this is what it looks like with some columns in place. I think that does spruce up the place a little bit. And I think there was maybe a darker, oh no, there wasn't a darker base coloring for this. Okay, well, you guys can let me know what you think of that. I can also look back at what other types of paneling there are. Okay, so maybe we can do this one. Yeah, maybe now that we changed that painting, this one looks a little bit better. So we can raise that painting up so it's outside of it. And I'm just going to keep that same frame color there. Let's see, maybe there's a brighter color for this. I could also go with the white paneling in here as well, but I do like the coziness of the darker paneling. There is also this green color here. But let's go back to the original wall color here. I think I like this more. It's got a little bit more of a cozy look. So now that this is in place, I don't think I need these columns all over. Yeah, so we'll just get rid of those and stick with this. And let's get this raised up a little bit, get some stuff on top of this. And I don't think, rather than sticking a mirror on top of it, since it is a little bit of a higher vanity, I think I'll just have a floor mirror. So I think that's one that matches, although I want one a little bit shorter. That's a little bit shorter. You know what, I'll just do a wall mirror anyway, if that'll even fit. Okay, that one's not going to fit. Let's raise this one up a little bit. So just by, actually, let's lower that one more. This way it actually looks like it's sort of built into the, yeah, it looks like it's sort of built into the dresser, which is nice. And I believe it comes in a similar color to it. Yes, that's the matching color. So I think that looks nice, but let's, okay, let's move that up again and make sure that's centered. Okay, we're good on that. As far as what goes on it, maybe some folded clothes. Okay, here those are, so we'll just stick those on top. I'm thinking some sunflowers as well. So, okay, I want to center those. You know, or we can just stick those, you know, we can just leave it at that, so that way it's empty in front of the mirror, which would make a lot of sense. So I think that looks pretty nice. I don't think we need to stick anything at the foot of the bed, or else it might get too busy, but I'd say there's not really too much of the furnishing in here, but it is an inn, so I don't think it's going to be loaded with a ton of different objects. Oh, it looks like the books here also got deleted, so I have to replace those quickly. Yeah, I think that's getting to be about it, although I might want to put a rug somewhere over here, although I don't want to... See, I don't want to add too many rugs and then overload the room with rugs, and I could try just centering this in the room, but then it's partially under the bed, which kind of drives me nuts a little bit. So I'll just stick it back over there. And then perhaps in here I can add this rug. Although I'm not sure about that, so I could also try this one. Which, this might look nice. Okay, that might look sort of nice in there. So I'm not sure if it's a little... I kind of, like, I don't always like to mix completely different types of rugs, but this might still look fine. You guys can let me know what you think. I'm definitely open to just getting rid of it if you guys don't like it. But let me try getting rid of it too. Okay, so that's it without it, that's it with it. I feel like it might be a little bare without the rug, so we can just leave it in there. I feel like this room also needs something else to brighten it up, so perhaps a plant on the floor next to the chair. I just feel like it needs a little more greenery and a little more color in it. So perhaps we can go with this plant here in this color, which is sort of... This pot color here is sort of bright. So I think that might do the trick, if I can try to get it so that the plant doesn't come through the chair. And it does go well with the blue in here. Yeah, so we can do that. That adds a little bit of extra brightness in there. I could also try going a little bit brighter with these woods. So what is this? This is the matching one, and this is the matching one here. I think that works as well. It keeps with the coloring of this wood here, and then breaks up the dark browns. This is going to be it for the room for the time being. Definitely let me know what you guys think of it, but I don't want to overload it with too many objects. It is kind of difficult to use a lot of bright, funky colors with this sort of a theme, but I think I did a decent job of that. I just didn't want to use bright colored walls because I felt like it wouldn't really fit in with the place, but hopefully the bits of yellow in here helped to fix that issue. Did I? Oh no, okay, that's it. If I saw that and for some reason I thought I left a boundary and it was glitching or something like that, but I'm gonna move on to the bathroom for the time being, and you know, there might be more changes made to this once, you know, once I see what you guys suggest, but I'm just gonna go with this flooring in the bathroom, just to, you know, keep with the theme of the downstairs bathroom. And for the time being, I'll just stick this in here, although we could go with, I don't know if there's any rustic type of tile. There is this. That is sort of ugly though, I don't really like that. I don't really like any of the more old-fashioned kind of tile. We could go with that and then change the flooring accordingly. And you know what? I think this actually works for this place. Let me revisit, because I think there was tiling that might work a little bit better with this. So there is this tiling here, although I would like something a little bit different. There is that. What colors does that come in? There is that. There is that. Oh, this doesn't look half bad, although, you know, maybe the original tile here... Yeah, I think this tile works, so I'll just keep that. I'll try to keep with the bright theme in here. Actually, I think that this tile wall had... Maybe had some brighter colors. I think I tried this one originally. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go with that. It just kind of keeps with the bright theme a little bit better. And perhaps I will go with that floor, or maybe not. Is there just a... Oh, there's that one. That one isn't that bad. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with this floor here. Although it's maybe... Yeah, I think this one works a little bit better for here. Yeah, I'll just go with this for the wall covering and the flooring. As far as what to do for the furnishing, I think in sink here, shower and tub over on this side. Oh, how about maybe one of the stone sinks, or I could go with this one. Yeah, I think that would work nice for here. But let's get it... Oh, I think this works nice with this bathroom, so we'll go with this. And as far as the mirror goes, maybe that one. Yeah, I think that works pretty well, so we'll go with that. We also need some soap on here, so we'll get that. And of course, as usual, have the move objects sheet on already, so I'm just gonna keep tapping 9 until it raises up properly. So we'll get it here. And make sure that it's not floating, which it is of course floating. So we have to move it down a little bit. And, okay, never mind. We'll just have it floating a little bit, because otherwise it's going to be buried halfway into the place, or halfway into the sink. And I think a nice bright white color works really well for that. Actually, let's move the soap over to the other side, because on that side I'm going to have the towel. Although, oh, that's really bothering me that's floating. So we'll just move it down. I guess it can just be a really short soap pump. As far as the towel goes, where was that? That was in the miscellaneous. So I'm just gonna go with more of an older fashioned towel. I wonder if there is, ooh, there is a yellow. So there is a yellow towel right here. I could also try the orange. Maybe that would look a little bit better in here. Or I can even try purple. Ooh, actually I kind of like this. I think it looks sort of interesting with the blue walls, so we'll just go with that. And right up here, I think just a simple wood toilet like that. And then as far as the shower goes, we could see how this one looks in here. Although for the shower, we may not want to go with that. So perhaps just a cheaper shower just to keep it simple. And I think, I don't know, this is probably the best shower stall to go with, although let's try putting in a wall to give it more of a built-in look. Right around it, I'm just going to put in some plain old tile. So I'll just try this towel right here, just all around the shower. So I think that looks fine. And above the toilet, I'm just going to have a regular old hutch rather than the shelf item. I think that would work pretty well for this place. So I believe this also comes in a nice bright white color. So yeah, we'll just stick that up there. I think that looks, yeah, I like how that looks. We also have to remember the toilet paper, so I'll just put it right here beside the toilet. We also need a towel next to the shower. So I have another one against this wall, and I'll use that same purple kind of a color as well for this. You know, maybe orange would look a little bit better. This color might be a little much, so I think that's a good height for it. Actually, maybe up a little bit higher. And let's try it in a nice, you know what, I actually like the orange. It of course goes a little bit better with the blue, so we'll just stick with that. A nice wall painting would also be good. This one right here might look nice. Yeah, I like how this looks in here, so we can just go with that. Actually, there we go. There we go, that looks good. And some type of rug would also be good, and then I think that's about it. This is such a small bathroom that it's really easy to furnish. Like, it just really doesn't take a whole lot of time. So perhaps we could just stick this in right here, more towards the shower a little bit, or position it. No, positioning that way won't work. So we could just try that. Maybe try that in there. Or we could try this one. I think, okay, never mind. That one might be a little bit better, but let's see what colors we have that'll work. I think this color, the only problem is I wish there was a smaller, like, one tile rug, because I feel like any of these rugs that I use are just going to be, I don't like how wide that one is, but then I also, you know, if I go to one that's like this, then it just takes up way too much space in here. I could also try that one. I don't know if I really want to have a rug in here. But, you know, maybe now that I think about it, I kind of do want to change out. Oh, okay, wait, no, I've got to move the soap up a little bit. Because now that I've got the rest of the furniture, and I feel like that vanity just doesn't really fit in. So we can add this one, move the soap here, and where did that go? Okay, let's move that there. And it's actually not floating on that. And let's also find a different mirror, because that one was a little bit too big, so this one, you can move this one up a little bit and it'll work perfectly. And that's the brightest color, but yeah, I think that this vanity looks a little bit better in here, and yeah, I want to put a rug in there, but I just wish there was a smaller rug that would go just in front of the shower. So I'm just going to leave this without a rug, and that's going to be all that I do today, so I'm going to go ahead and end the part here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and bye!